4 games away from King Power Stadium, the Foxes return to their own patch, hoping to find the end of season form that will push them back to the Premier League. It's 8 wins from their last 11 for City here on Filbert Way. Near post, it's a low delivery. Oh, and he's got it! It's a touch at the near post. And then fast winning it back. He's joined on the right by Ndidi. That's a higher delivery towards Mavididi. Back across goal! Kieran Shrewsbury Hall on hand from close range to head Leicester's equalising goal. Laid off to Mavididi. Lovely skill to get away from Stacey! And slots it into the bottom corner. The top, the King Power Stadium erupts its wings again, slaloming through the challenges. And on hand is that man, Jamie Vardy. It finishes at King Power Stadium. Leicester City 3, Norwich City 1.
Well, it wasn't a Good Friday, but it was a very good Easter Monday, wasn't it, for the Foxes, who beat Norwich 3-1. What was that, 5 days ago? We're back at King Power Stadium again today as Leicester face off against Birmingham City. We've got David Nugent and Matt Elliott alongside me, Dan Bates, in the studio for Matchday Live today. We'll speak to those two in just a moment, but before we do all of that, we've got to get today's team news, which is hot off the press as we are now an hour away from kickoff. Both sides actually unchanged from victories on Easter Monday. We'll start, of course, with Enzo Maresca's Leicester City. It's Hermanson in goal, Doyle, Fass, Vestergaard and Ricardo, Winks, Dewsbury Hall and Ndidi in midfield, with Mavididi and Fatawu supporting Patson Daka. On the bench it's Stolarczyk, Justin, Cody, Vardy, Iheanacho, Chowdhury, Pratt, Yunus and Marcel. From a Birmingham City point of view, Gary Rowett is the 6th different voice these Birmingham players have had in the dressing room this season. He, as I've said already, names an unchanged side, the one that beat Preston 1-0 on Monday. They haven't won in their previous 7 games, losing 6 of those. Ruddy in goal, Buchanan, Sanderson, Iwu and Laird across the back 4, with Pike and Balick, the 2 holding midfielders. Bakuna, James and Miyoshi support Jay Stansfield up front. On loan this season, having a very good season up top for them. Well, welcome along to Matt Elliott and to David Nugent. Good afternoon to the both of you. How are we feeling ahead of this one? We bouncing in with excitement, having seen the video of that victory over Norwich 5 days ago?
Yeah, it was a much needed one, weren't it? Obviously the results haven't been going pretty too well for us this past couple of weeks, but the Norwich game was a great game. Obviously not the best start, conceding another set play, but the lads showed endeavour to come back into the game and, win it comfortably in the end. I thought it was a good performance.
Yeah, you're right there, those video clips there, you sort of got the blood pumping a little bit, didn't they? Great commentary from John Dunn, who's on duty again this afternoon, and that sort of got you in the mood properly, didn't it? And much needed as well, after the recent run of events and results and disappointment of Friday. The pressure was on Monday, wasn't it? And they stood up to the test, which is encouraging going forward.
Yes, the Jerry Taggart, John Dunn combination getting 3 points. Hopefully they do. So again, on commentary for us this afternoon. We've got plenty to get through throughout Matchday Live as we build up to kick-off, of course. The last 3 o'clock Saturday kick-off of the season. There is a game earlier as well. Incidentally, the side that Leicester beat on Monday, Norwich, are currently beating Ipswich 1-0. There's 15 minutes to go in that one. We'll take a look back at that Norwich game. We'll also take a look at Kiernan's season. Absolutely brilliant, hasn't it? He's been nominated for the Player of the Season. And we've also got the Goal of the Month as well for March. That Stefan Mavididi one at Stamford Bridge will take some beating, I think it's fair to say. As I said, we'll keep you up to date with that game. It's currently, as we said, Norwich 1, Ipswich 0, which, fingers crossed, let's not say anything about it.
Don't talk about it.
We'll say nothing about it. We'll update you as and when the full-time whistle goes there, or if anything happens. Hopefully nothing does happen between now
and
then.
Can we turn it off so we don't know?
I know. It's a distraction, to be fair, isn't it?
It adds nerves, doesn't it? But it's probably the same for the players. Is it more of a nerves or an excitement today, heading into this game against Birmingham?
Both. Excitement that you got a chance to, gain 3 points if the results stay the same and go back to top of the league. That's the aim, to get in them top 2 positions. Stay in there. We give a big lead away, but we're on a winning roll again now. We beat Norwich last week, and this game's got something on it as well. Birmingham are fighting for survival. So I think they'll be up for it as well, coming off a victory as well.
Yeah, you'd like to think that the players are looking forward to the challenge, aren't they? Confidence can be fragile, even with the best of teams. With the run as it has been again of late, you think there is a bit of sort of edginess going into the games, but with that win and that performance, and I think there's even more to come from Leicester. I wouldn't say they played at the absolute top of their game, but they're comfortable and deserving winners. That will give them a huge boost, really. And now, you can look at it in different ways, but they're technically in the box seat, really. Even the game in hand, etc. It's in their hands, as they say. But it's going to be difficult for Leicester, to go on a strong run. But I think now there will be that little bit of a spring in the step. There'll be a little bit more energy from the supporters as well, because the tension has maybe relaxed a little bit.
Yeah, the crowd were great actually on Easter Monday. Really got behind the team, even at 1-0 down.
They were nervous early on, I thought, but once they could, exactly. They're just reflecting how they feel. But once they got an opportunity to get behind the team, and encourage them because they saw the boys coming back. Yeah, then they really got behind them well, didn't they?
This is crunch time now as well, isn't it? The last 7-8 games.
It does make a big difference as well, doesn't it?
And unchanged sides, so Enzo thinks potentially this could be a stronger side now.
Yeah.
To take the team over the line and try and get to the top of the league and to the Premier League and get promotion. So probably first time in a while we've seen an unchanged team as well.
Yeah, exactly. And no tinkering, because sometimes it's been not enforced, but it's been just because of the lack of results, really. Sometimes performance, but just going back to the supporters, massive on the way. Because if there's any hint of sort of disgruntlement or frustration or nervousness, that will transfer itself to the players and in turn the team as a whole. So they've just got to give them that 100% support that they 99 times out of 100 do.
Yes, there was huge celebrations at full time, of course, on Monday afternoon. Let's take a look back at the highlights from that victory over Norwich.
Duffy is in at the near post. It's a low delivery. Oh, and it's got it. It's a touch at the near post. Potentially a move straight off the training ground. It was driven hard and low, and it was Sainz, was it, who got the vital touch in amongst the crowd of players at the near post. And then Fass winning it back. He's joined on the right by Ndidi. That's a higher delivery towards Mavididi. Back across goal! Kieran Dewsbury Hall on hand from close range to head Leicester's equalising goal. His 11th of the season comes at such a crucial stage of the season. And before half-time, Leicester are level. The ball from the right kept alive by Mavididi, and Dewsbury Hall with the goal. Here's Ndidi, and Dewsbury Hall in space edge of the area, onto his right foot, laid off to Mavididi. Lovely skill to get away from Stacey, and slots it into the bottom corner. The Kop, the King Power Stadium erupts as Leicester City turn it around from 1 down. Now they lead 2-1. Looked as though the chance may have gone for Dewsbury Hall, but the scorer of the first becomes the creator as he found Mavididi, who hurdled the challenge and then slots it into the corner. Leicester in front, 2-1. It's a flick from Dennis Pratt. It's laid off to Winks. It's charged down. It's Winks again, slaloming through the challenges, and on hand is that man Jamie Vardy from a few yards out. Just places the ball into the back of the net before celebrating his 16th of the season, 8 in his last 9, a goal that seals 3 big Leicester City points.
For who else? Talk about being in the right place at the right time.
Well, I did promise you big celebrations at full time. That's what you got from the substitutes, the bench, and Enzo Maresca there when Vardy got the goal that put it beyond all doubt on Monday. I think actually at 2-1, there wasn't as much nervousness as we maybe previously seen. Leicester seemed to control the game well, and we're really looking to push on to get that third goal.
Yeah, no, it was obviously 2-1. It's always a horrible scoreline, isn't it? But just to see it and see the celebrations at the end shows how much the team's together. Enzo running down the line. I think it was Mavididi and Fatu running after him, jumping on top of the manager. The players want it that much. They've been at the top end of the table all season, and they want to stay there. And you know, against the Norwich side who were pushing for the playoffs as well. So it was vital they got the 3 points, got back on track, and got the 3 points, you know, to take them back, you know, to the top of the league. So, and then we got an opportunity again today, you know, just the same, starting on the game at Birmingham. But, you know, but seeing the goals back here, you know, obviously MATCHDAY's goal was a bit special, the little skill over the defender and the finish, and then obviously Vard's finishing it off with a tap and being at the right place at the right time. You know, we seen it against Bristol where he missed like 4, you know, great chances, and comes on, gets 1 chance, sticks it away. You know, that's football for you.
Yeah, just look at those celebrations. Going back to that, you know, the joy and the emotion from the players that you saw there. It's not always hugely evident in how Leicester play because it's quite, you know, methodical and structured at times. They don't play with you know, abandon and, you know, real passion, do they? I'm sure there is underneath, but when you see that release of relief,
joy,
yeah. It's a combination of things.
It all comes out, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
exactly. And you see it in the manager and the players. You say, oh, all right, you know, there's a bit more going on there than maybe they're given credit for. There's a bit of steel underneath the what do you call it, in the heart or underneath the wherever they keep it, right? But the supporters, again, referring to them, they'll see that and they'll react to that because they love to see players giving their all, what it means to the players, and there it was pretty clear, and that will spur them on. That will spur them on. That feeling that they got to get back on track. That's what they'll feel like, I'm sure, and they'll want to be 100% adamant that they continue the job now today.
It was the second goal as well when MATCHDAY scored. You could see how much it meant to Dewsbury Hall when he went up to grab his face. You could see the relief in his face that he took in the lead and
exactly.
got in front. You know what I mean? Like the players were together.
He's quite
great goal as well.
Expressionless, isn't he, when he plays? But all of a sudden it all comes bursting out and the other players celebrating with him. Yeah, what a wonderful finish.
It's so precise. We were saying when if it's either an inch left or right, you know, the keeper saves or the defender blocks it. So much of Dewsbury Hall just grabs him by the face, don't even hugs him.
But
yeah,
they need to take a lot of credit, really, because they've had a tough time there, and Norwich going 1-0 down. And I was actually, I don't know if it was down to the ineptitude of Norwich that they didn't go and put a better case forward, or was it how good Leicester were? Leicester was they weren't supreme by any stretch of imagination, but they were dominant, really, from the Norwich goal afterwards, weren't they? Because that determination to right some wrongs.
And took the chances as well.
Yeah, that's the key one, because as you said, that chances have been being created in the games when the blip, if you like,
but
when the
they
run
were a
wasn't
bit
great.
more vulnerable as well, haven't they? But not on Monday. Monday it was quite a complete performance
against a side that, as it stands, is 6th in the Championship as well, and they were convincing.
An average away record, but yeah, as we're seeing right now today, they're performing pretty well at home, albeit. But that was just what the doctor ordered, wasn't it? That result and performance last week.
Yeah, similar away form for Birmingham, actually. Look, only Rotherham have picked up less points on the road this season than Birmingham. That's.
I looked earlier, it's like 31-3 away, haven't they? 14 defeats away from home. So it's not a nice record to have. You know, they're fighting for their lives. As you said, so many managers coming in and out the door this season for them. You know, Gary Rowett going back to take no charge until Tony's better. But he's got a job in his hand. He got a great result. You know, I think the last 7 games, there's only been 1 goal in it, defeat or draws. You know, so for them to come here and get results, it'll be massive for them. But Leicester pushing for promotion, you know, I can only see one winner this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean,
fingers crossed.
You're always worried about saying that, but you know, you're within your rights.
Yeah, I just think we have better players, don't we? Than them. You know, there's a lot more quality on the pitch. It's just the application from the Leicester players. If they get it right, they'll smash Birmingham. But the cup game, we've seen the cup game. Were you for the cup game?
Yeah, well, both games against Birmingham have been pretty close.
Good games,
yeah.
Earlier in the season that day.
So last in the cup game, Leicester should have been 4-0 down.
Half time.
It was better. It was good saves. Should have been given a chance to save them. It should have been more clinical finishing. But even in the away game at St Andrews, there, Birmingham started brightly. Then Leicester probably played the best period of football that they've played all season for about half hour or so, 40 minutes. But even then, Birmingham came back in it, and they're decent going forward. I'm surprised they're as low as they are. They've had a lot of turmoil, which obviously doesn't help. Defensively, Leicester can expose them. So interested to see how they. I imagine they're going to come here and be pretty cagey, to be honest, because they know how prone their defence is.
You'll see that, won't you, from Gary Rowett, you assume?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, well, I think Millwall, he played 5 at the back, didn't he? I think it might be more of a 4-2-3-1 today, but I won't be surprised if you didn't see their full-backs cross over the halfway line, to be honest with you.
Yeah, unchanged. Birmingham to the side that beat Preston on Monday, a 1-0 home victory there. This game today is available for everyone outside of the UK to watch. The Game Passes will be available for you on Fox's Hub for just £10. So head on to lcfc.com/Fox's Hub. If you do want to listen to the game, if you're here in the UK, of course, then you can do. Listen Live monthly passes are available for you. Again, just head on to lcfc.com/Fox's Hub. There was some news in midweek coming out from the EFL. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall has been nominated for the EFL Championship Player of the Season, and rightly so as well, with the season that he has had. There are 3 nominees. He is alongside Sammy Smodics of Blackburn, obviously, of course, the top scorer in the Championship, and Crescencio Somerville, the winger at Leeds. But Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, Matt, will be saying, it's me. He's got 11 goals. He's got 14 assists. It was a goal and an assist, wasn't it, on Monday against Norwich? And he's very much been the driving force in games when Leicester have needed it this season.
Yeah, the majority of the time, like all players, he's had a couple of lean periods, but generally, as you say, he's been a really consistent performer and at times playing at a really high level. I don't think he'll be overly concerned right now. In fact, I hope he's not really, because it's the greater good that's more important. Just concentrate on, the team's well-being. But this is nice to have a personal accolade. But you don't, it won't do him any harm, will it? If he just to be nominated is something that's going to boost his confidence, whatever. If he was to win it, all very nice. But at the end of the day, it's about what happens at the end of the season. He'd quite happily come 3rd unless they get promoted, wouldn't he? I'm sure. Yeah, he's that sort of lad, isn't he? But
just seeing these goals, there's some great goals, different goals, very important ones, it seems, that he scores as well in games.
Yeah, he's a massive player. He's built up a great, with Ndidi and Harry Winkston, they're a great combination. He works well with MATCHDAY on the left-hand side as well. He's the driving force in that midfield, getting forward on that left-hand side to help MATCHDAY. You've seen the goals and assists whole season, 14 assists, 11 goals. He's been a colossus in the midfield. He had a bit of a blip, didn't he? In the last couple of games, where Leicester didn't pick up any results. But that goal against Norwich will do him the world of good. Getting back on track, and he'll be looking forward to this game tonight.
It's not just Kiernan as well. Mentioned Stephen MATCHDAY as well. He's had a lean period. It's only one game, but he looks to maybe be back on it as well. It can all. You just keep applying yourself in the right way, and all of a sudden, hopefully it clicks, and hopefully that was the time last Monday.
It's not just goals that Kiernan scored, obviously, news this season. We've mentioned the assists, you've mentioned the assists already. We're seeing a selection of them here. And how important is it having a player like Kiernan Dewsbury Hall that will score that many goals, that will create that many goals?
Well, he looks for the pass, doesn't he? He could have easily shot there against Norwich in the highlights we're watching, but he squares it. Another one again. I'm not sure a striker would square this. Obviously the ball's Harry Winks. Yeah, I'll square that 100%. I'm not sure someone else would. But again, he's unselfish as well. That's what you like. He'll run for the team. He's local lad. He wants to do well for the team and do best for the team by. If someone is square for an easy goal, he'll pass it, and that's what you want. And he's been excellent, and being a local lad as well just helps that even bit more. And being nominated, he fully deserves it.
He's got a great all-round game, hasn't he? He's covers many facets of the modern day midfielder, if you like, and as much as anything, I think for me, he's got many qualities, but his key asset is his endurance. He just runs opponents into the ground.
You very rarely see him get subbed off, do you?
Okay, we have a couple of times. He's sort of not. I don't think it's necessarily through tiredness. I think he's not being as effective as maybe he could, and Maresca's maybe trying to preserve his energy for future games, maybe because he just keeps going and going, and him and Ndidi on the other side, the two of them, supreme athletes. Opposition midfielders must be like dreading coming up against them. But it's from the off, down that left-hand channel especially, he's particularly effective. And then he's got quality at the end of it as well. I think, he could aim to maybe tighten up his actual final ball occasionally if you're going to be really picky, go on to the next level. But without doubt, he's looked a Premier League player, hasn't he, quite comfortably all season, and I'm sure he will be at some stage, hopefully, with the Foxes.
Yeah, hopefully in a Leicester shirt next season. I think his 14 assists in all competitions this season might argue with his final ball.
No, to be fair, yeah, but it's a bit like Harvey Barnes to me. And I know both of them from quite a young age. Fortunate enough to see them develop along in the academy. But Harvey, great numbers, but like a lot of people, I was like, you got more, Harvey. You could do more, which is not a criticism. That's credit to them. I think the capabilities, and I think Kiernan is probably more aware of that, and he applies himself really well, and he gets the best out of himself, and he'll continue to do so, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's 39 games have been played by Leicester. He's been in 10 Team of the Weeks. That will sometimes include games when there's 2 in a week as well. So it's not like it's 39 of those. So that's impressive in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just showing that his stats prove it. That he's had a great season. Double figures in goals and assists. You very rarely see that. Nominated for Player of the Season. Up against 2 players who, Somerville winger. They're all 3 different types of players, aren't they? Smodrick's leading goal scorer. But if you're looking at all-round gameplay and on the pitch,
there's a case for all of them.
Yeah, there's a case for all of them. Yeah, but Kiernan's added both, to his game. The assist and his goal, so that could be his chance of, winning it.
I think whoever gets it, there won't be too many complaints elsewhere, will there?
Yeah, and let's hope
Smodrick's for doing Blackburn side that are struggling relegation as well.
Let's hope it's
we're all hoping we win
in a promotion-winning season, of course. Right, speaking about goals, let's take a look back at some of the best goals scored in March in Leicester City colours. Here's the Goal of the Month video.
Klein has let that run for Silko Thomas here, and he might pay the price for it. Into the box goes Silko Thomas and fires Leicester into the lead. Incisive and decisive from Silko Thomas. And once he got control of the ball, he knew exactly what he wanted to do. Drove into the penalty area and drove it past Vanden Heuvel to hand Leicester City the advantage.
To Whelan and Rantala looking for her second. She's got it! 2 for you to Rantala, 2 for Leicester City, and they could be heading into the FA Cup semi-final.
That's one back by Leicester City. What can they do in terms of advancing forward now? Some run this from Joseph, who's going on, and it is a fantastic goal from the substitutes. What a way to get your first in the Premier League 2 this season. No chance of Everton stopping that, and Leicester City level with 66 minutes on the clock.
Tawu looking for the quick reply. Vardy is in space. Jamie Vardy equalises straight away. Jamie Vardy on the spot, just to the right of the 6-yard area. It was a storming run by Abdul Fatawu. Fed the ball into Vardy. You can't give him that much space. And as he took a touch with his left foot, finished with his right, another shot right into the bottom corner of the net.
Fatawu, I'll tell you what, this feels like the last 5 minutes, not the 62nd minute at the moment. It is
Proper game.
It is fizzing along, and the next goal obviously is absolutely crucial. And here's Mavididi. He can run at gusto here. He approaches the edge of the box. Steffi Mavididi. Couple of step overs. What a shot! What a goal! It's absolutely fantastic! And from 2-0 down, Leicester are level. They're making more magic memories in the FA Cup against Chelsea. That was absolutely glorious from Mavididi. He beat Gusto and then he's bent it beyond the goalkeeper. 2-2 after 62 minutes in this quarter-final.
Five in the wall for Sunderland. But this is Sammy Braybrooke for Leicester City. It's absolutely stunning. Well, Sammy Braybrook has spent such a long time out of this Leicester side.
Brighton have found it difficult to get a huge amount of consistency on the road. They did win their last, the most recent WSL away game, 7-3 against Bristol City. They lost 3 on the bounce without scoring prior to that. Here with this, so first from Rantala. More often than not, when Leicester City find a way through, it's Yuta Rantala at the heart of it. Rantala's 10th goal involvement for Leicester City this season. Bot. Tierney lays it up to Rantala. Nudges it beyond. Really into tackle on a lovely ball into Lena Peterman. And there's the equaliser. It's an excellent finish from Lena Peterman. Player that has dealt in goals all her career.
Well, there we go. They're the nominations for the goal of the month for March, of course. Steffi Mavrodini's got to be one of the favourites you'd suggest.
Stand out, yeah. Great goal against Chelsea. But Sammy Braybrook's free kick.
Yeah.
Decent free kick. Even the last goal there for the women. Little pass through to Lena Peterman. Nice little finish and touch and finish. So there's a few up there, but Mavrodini's step overs against Gusto is no slouch. Curling into the far post there in the FA Cup. Almost, got us back into the game, but lost it through the sending off. So, great finish.
Yeah, you don't need a poll really for that one, do we? I think we know the answer, but
I thought I'd give a mention to Dawn.
Yeah, no, deservedly so, wasn't it? And it's good to see sort of goals from different teams within the club, but Mavrodini, that was some finish that was, wasn't it? And
it's the limbs in the back with the fans in it. It's class, isn't it?
Yeah, it gave real hope.
At that moment in the game, Leicester were right.
You fancied them, yeah. And obviously it's always on edge, isn't it? And Chelsea are hard to gauge at the moment, aren't they? How things are going to go with them. But yeah, the sending off, obviously a big factor that came door. But that was a really enjoyable game down there. But that was the best moment of actual quality throughout the 90+ minutes here.
Right, speaking of quality, the full-time whistle has gone at Carrow Road. It's finished 1-0 to Norwich, so Ipswich getting nothing from that game, which is obviously good news, of course. So Leicester have 2 games in hand over Ipswich, one of them being, of course, this afternoon in about half an hour or so. They're 2 points behind them. It's a real opportunity now today, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I think the lads will start, the news will start floating through to the players when you go in for the start of the game. They'll find out that Norwich have beaten Ipswich. But what an incentive to go out there now and go above them now in the league and win another game in hand coming up against Southampton. There's no better way now going onto the pitch, putting a performance on, getting them 3 points and proving that you're the best team in the league. It'd
be interesting to see whether Leicester you can see a reaction in their game because of how they play. The message seems to be constantly that don't go away from what we practice through the week, which is fair enough, really. You practice, you train for a reason. But sometimes there is a sort of a feeling from the fans and, I don't know, people like ourselves even as well, to go, right, go on, now's the time to sort of up the tempo, up the ante.
It's not going to happen, mate.
But they don't, do they? Yeah. They maybe increase their sort of intensity a little bit and a bit of slickness of passing. But yeah, they don't go to like gung-ho think, right, this is the time to take Birmingham to task. It's all very controlled, isn't it? But it's about, as a lot of things are in life, but it's about the end result. But we'll see how Leicester fare today. But having said that, they must be boosted by that result with Ipswich there. Thinking, right, come on lads, let's not. We've let things slip a little while. Let's not let it happen again. Not today.
Yeah, ironically, I remember we had Ricardo Pereira on this sofa a couple of weeks ago, maybe about a month or so ago, when he was injured. Leeds had dropped points in the early game. Leicester then didn't capitalise in that game. And we spoke about, with Ricardo, will the players know about that? He said, yes, they will, of course they will. They'll either hear it from someone in the crowd or someone will tell them, listen, Ipswich have lost today. Come on, let's go out there. Let's go ahead of them, still with a game in hand.
What did he say about that, though? Did he say, like, it was a big message from the staff or whatever, because I don't imagine it is.
No, I don't.
I think they're just like, okay, result, we know you know it, carry on. Whereas some other managers,
it was more a case of concentrating on what they had to do.
But Martin O'Neill, for instance, would say to he'd pick up on that result and he'd be firing us up like madmen, you know, say, come on, boys, you know, how much of an opportunity that is. It's just funny, managers have different styles.
Every manager I've had has been like that.
Yeah.
If you're fighting for the playoffs or promotion, if someone got beat, you'd be like, lads, what a chance this is. And you'll get you up for the game.
Try and stir you up.
But I think Enzo's way is control the game. It's your own fate, you know, he wants to play his own way, and they're not going to change. He's told us that, but we're still expecting it to be a bit more. But every game we go into, we're like, it's going to change, but it doesn't.
Come on, lads, up it. No, okay,
but they know the way their style of playing, and they've done it all season.
And it's working.
Yeah.
Jerry Taggart is on co-commentary duty for us, a game that is available to anyone outside the UK to watch. Of course, you can listen to it as well. Jerry, good afternoon to you. Obviously, you'll have had half an eye on that game at Carrow Road as well. And do you agree with these guys? The players will obviously know about the result, but again, it's about what Leicester do today.
Yeah, maybe not. I think it's immaterial, Dan, if I'm being honest, what the result of the Norwich-Ipswich game is. There's still a lot of football to be played between now and the end of the season. There's a lot of points up for grabs. We could have a scenario where Leicester could reach 100 points and not get promoted automatically. That's how crazy it is at the minute. So I really do not think it's whatever the result today for Ipswich. I don't think it's that important. I think Leicester just have to focus on, like you say, what's in front of them today. Think about the standard they set last week against Norwich, which in the end was a really controlled, comfortable win, and try and replicate that today against a struggling Birmingham side.
Yeah, we've spoken about Birmingham's away record so far this season, Jerry, but they're coming off the back of a win, of course, just under a week ago, albeit at home. They'll be confident of staving off relegation, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think first and foremost, Gary Rowett will set his team up not to get beaten early on in this game. They've got one or two players at the front end of the pitch that can cause a few issues on their day. But again, I think it's, you know, Leicester at home, the sun's shining. Oh, yes, there's a bit of wind around, but you know, they just have to focus in what is really important at this stage of the season. You know, it's 7 games left, 6 after today, and they have to make sure that standard that they set against Norwich last week they cannot go below that between now and the end of the season. It's that important. It doesn't matter who they're playing, it doesn't matter which way the opposition set up, doesn't matter what they try and bring to the table, how they try to stifle Leicester City, because that's probably what they'll try and do. Leicester have to find a way, make sure they find ways of, you know, reacting to the opposition and how they set up.
Gerald, Matthew again. I was just you sort of semi-answered what I was going to ask you there about, you know, we both know Gary Rowett. He was quite cautious as a player, wasn't he? Back in the day, and you know, probably less so as a manager. But now coming into the situation, like, they're trying to safeguard their existence in the Championship. You, again, like you say, you've touched on it there, but you feel they're going to come and just put numbers behind the ball and make it difficult for Leicester and frustrate, and perhaps with Stansfield lively up top, just rely on that counter?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, if you're Gary Rowett, you've been thrown a lifeline, haven't you, with regards to the situation with Tony Mowbray, and then obviously his assistant who took over, that didn't go well. He's been throwing a lifeline till the end of the season. So if you're Gary Rowett, you're thinking, right, if I can keep Birmingham in the league, there's a great opportunity for me to get this job on a full-time basis. So that'll be the thinking in his head on a personal level. And when you're coming to King Power with the way Leicester have been playing, with the way that they control the game, he'll probably understand that there's no point going toe-to-toe. There's no point trying to come here and take Leicester on at their own game, especially with their away form. So he's got to be pragmatic in his approach. He's got to weigh up the best way that they can, you know, hopefully for their sakes, try and get a result out of this fixture today. And you'd have to probably say that Gary will err on the side of caution with, as you say, you know, with the likes of Stanfield and Bakuna as well, another one who can cause a few issues on his day. Those types of players will give them potentially an outlet going forward.
Perfect, thank you very much, Jerry. We'll hear from you again just before kick-off and throughout the game, of course, on Code Commentary duty for us. Right, we're at that stage of the show now where we embarrass / praise David Nugent again.
Again,
more goals against the teams that we're playing.
We'll have to get in the Premier League next season, shut him up for a bit, wouldn't it?
Today it's a goal and an assist against today's opponents.
But
Neatly done, Nugent. Now King! 2-1. What a turnaround. Only one man for the job. Nugent! Surely all over. In the closing minutes, Leicester stretch their lead.
Well, a penalty goal and then a
Let me-
pass
let me- hang on.
30 yards
Let
out.
me tell you,
miserable
that penalty,
montage.
I had to score that pen because they went down the run and scored straight away to make it 2-1. So it's a good job I scored, really.
You didn't know that at the time.
Yeah, but
If you knew the pressure was on, you'd have lofted it over the top like you did in
And
Dubai when we were out there.
What a pass to King.
Yeah, what an
Does that count as an
incisive assist.
assist?
It is an assist.
Dropping short.
Defence splitting
Half
pass.
turn. Fred Kingy. Touch finish. That's what he does. Advance run by Kingy.
One of your
I come short, they go
efforts,
long.
mate. Yeah, but they all count, don't they?
Goal and assist.
All there. Yeah,
Won the
fair
game.
play.
In a 2-0, 2-1 win then,
2-1, yeah.
Goal and
Chris
an
Burke.
assist. Always your favourite part of the show, David Nugent.
Who have we got next week?
Best. No.
His favourite, not anyone else's.
Right, let's hear from Enzo Maresca then. Fast forward again to 2024. The Leicester manager spoke to the press, of course, in the week, and he was asked if it's difficult to analyse playing against Birmingham, considering the 3 times they've played him this season now, they've had 3 different managers.
Yeah, it's difficult, especially because with the new manager, they play 2 games. QPR away, line of 5. Preston at home, line of 4. QPR away with the line of 5, they lost. Preston at home, line of 4, they won. So what do you think? They're going to come line of 4 or 5?
If you're asking me, I would suggest 5.
But they lost with 5.
But you are Leicester City.
No, it's complicated. It's complicated because with the new manager, we don't know what they are going to do. Because if you analyze with the line of 5, they lost. With the line of 4, they won. So you can expect them line of 4, but probably they're gonna come line. We don't know. We just try to be ready in both cases, and we see.
You scored 10 goals this season from high turnovers, winning the ball high. In the pitch, which is a league high as well. No other team has scored more goals in that way. What about your style and the system that you play allows that to happen so often?
No, it's something that I said many times. We try to press the opposite side every time. I think, I don't know how many goals we score, but also I had the feeling that we miss many chances. The good thing is that every time you recover the ball, you are very close to the opposite goal. And because we bring many players in high pressing, also we have many players ready to attack. So it's something that in the same way we work on the ball, we also work off the ball, in which way we can be aggressive.
Whilst you're the team that has scored the most goals winning the ball high, Birmingham City have the second highest record of giving the ball away in their defensive third. Is that something that you've identified ahead of the game this weekend?
No, to be honest, because they just changed manager. So probably these numbers that we have, it's from the previous manager. The manager that now is in charge, probably it's different one. The only thing I can say is that Miyoshi, Bakuna, Stansfield, James, Pike, they are all attacking players, that they are good players.
That was Enzo Maresca there, speaking ahead of this game with Birmingham. He has named an unchanged side to the one that beat Norwich 3-1 on Monday. So Patson Daka leads the line again. Doyle at left back, he was very impressive, wasn't he? Callum Doyle, and I think he rightly gained a lot of plaudits from the Leicester fans on Monday.
Yeah, and also Leicester, despite what Enzo Maresca says, more often will fancy themselves to dominate possession and control the game, and then Doyle's one of the best when Leicester are in possession. He's probably as good a passer as anyone in the club. That's a major asset to have. James Justin, who he seems to be vying for a position with, that they've got opposite attributes, haven't they? If you could combine the two, you've always got the perfect fullback, maybe. But Callum Doyle, but for a bit of extra creativity, a bit of extra threat from assists, similar to Nudes provided for Andy King just now. There's there's more expectancy with Callum Doyle in the team, isn't there?
I think it helps being left-footed as well. Playing there, obviously JJ predominantly right, can use the left foot, but he's predominantly right foot, so he comes inside a lot more. Where Callum can open out and open the pitch a bit more to play down to the wingers, where JJ more likely goes inside. Maybe that's the decision that Enzo's took to while he's playing him. But he's, as you said, if you merge both of them together, give Callum's attacking threat and then give JJ Callum's defensive threat, then you've both got the perfect fullback.
The camera's rightly trained on Kiernan Dewsbury Hall in the warm-ups. We've spoken about him in depth, obviously getting that PFA Championship Player of the Year nomination. He scored against Birmingham as well earlier in the season, a terrific driving run, wasn't it? Yeah. Again, a lot will go through him, and a lot from an opposition point of view will be focusing on stopping him, stopping the likes of Patson Daka, who can run behind.
Yeah, I think it'll be tough for Birmingham.
Will there be much space in behind?
That's what I mean. Yeah, exactly. So it'll be. I think there's going to be Birmingham 11 men behind the ball. Like we've seen a lot of teams come here early on in the season, where Leicester just passing it, waiting for that right opening. But that's when you got to move the ball with pace, then, haven't you? Yeah. Just try and move their midfield and defence along to try and punch that ball in behind the lines. But again, I don't think there's going to be much space unless Birmingham do something stupid and come out and think they can outplay Leicester, but I can't see it.
Yeah, I mean, you just mentioned Dewsbury and Daka there. Of the two, Dewsbury was more likely to cause problems, running from deep, even if Birmingham do sit off a touch. But him and Ndidi make those runs, and even if they don't receive the ball, they just move the opposition around a little bit and create space for others. But I think I'm putting too much pressure on him. Patson Daka, a few people might raise a few eyebrows that he's got to start again today. Jamie Vardy got his goal, came on, didn't he? And perhaps it was most people's eyes, it was his turn to start. But Maresca's weighing up the situation. He doesn't get it wrong too often. But nice. Daka hasn't been at his biggest. As big a threat as he is normally of late, and the game sort of bypassed him a little bit. So, looking for some extra involvement from him today.
Right, let's hear from Ricardo Pereira then, the Leicester City defender, of course. Came in, made his first start since picking up that injury in the 3-1 win over Norwich. He's been speaking to our commentator today, John Dunn, before kick-off.
Ricardo, the first of the last 7 games in the Championship season today, coming into it on the back of that win against Norwich on Monday. What's the mood been like in the training camp this week?
Yeah, better for sure. When you win, things are better for us, the day-to-day, but the focus has to be the same, the desire, the mentality, and we need to keep going. And like you said, towards the end of the season, every game is important, and we need to keep adding points.
How much was a boost was it to everyone, fans, staff, the result, but the performance on Monday as well?
Yeah, I think crucial. It was important to bounce back, to be back to winning days at home with the fans. It was a good atmosphere too, and I think it was important for everyone to give even more confidence for the games ahead.
Birmingham today, third time Leicester have played against them, but it's the third manager that Leicester have come up against. Has that made it difficult planning for today?
A little bit. Of course, we know them because we played them twice, but it's a new manager, a new way of thinking, a new opportunity for their players to show they're up to the task. And yeah, a little bit difficult, but for sure we need to focus more on us than them. Of course, knowing they have their strengths, and we need to be careful about that.
3 more games here at King Power Stadium this season after today. How important will the home games be? How important will the supporters be?
Yeah. I think towards the end of the season, because every team, when you arrive to end of the season, every team is fighting for something, and it can be tricky games even if you play the teams that are lower on the table. So we need every help that we can have, and having our fans and playing at home, for sure it helps, and they have a major part of until the end of the season.
That was Ricardo Pereira there, speaking to John Dunn before kickoff. Looking very sunny today, King Power Stadium. Hopefully the mood will reflect that at full time when we see a Leicester win. Again, we've got a couple of minutes before we hand over to the commentary team for the full game, but it's a big one, isn't it, for Leicester, particularly given that result earlier on, as we've seen. If you are just joining us, Ipswich losing away at Norwich.
Yeah, we keep trying not to mention that or focus on it, but no, I'd use it as a positive, isn't it? I think, I sort of not disagree with Jerry. He's right, Tags, when he says, it's irrelevant what the Ipswich result was. Leicester have got to go about their own business. I don't think it will change how they play, but it's an extra incentive. It's an extra sort of spur, motivation, when if Ipswich had won, so they'd be 5 points. Is that right? They'd be 5 points clear, wouldn't they? With Leicester having 2 games in hand. Mm-hmm. So you're thinking, right, we've got to win today. And that brings pressure onto it, and a bit of tension and nervousness. Now, they've still got to win, but if they don't, it's not the end of the world. I think that it is relevant there. And also, like I say, it's a major plus, it's a positive to go, right, if we go and win, then we're really in the box seat. It's that...
It's that stage of the season, isn't
it? It's that sort of I don't know, fluctuatable. No, I'm just inventing things. Okay, we'll check it though, just in case. But fortunes are fluctuating.
Yeah, nice.
Right? That's a better way of putting it. From minute to minute, never mind game to game.
It's going to spare the players on. I know Enzo won't let it get into them, but it will spare them on to want to
rightly so,
try that little bit harder to make an impact, to make to go boom in the league. You know what I mean?
Methods behind the scenes of motivational techniques. There's one staring you in the face. Isn't it?
It will make you run that extra bit harder, knowing that it's a chance to go back to top of the league. And Leeds have got a tough game as well. Yeah, Cov away. So this would be like a perfect weekend.
Yeah,
it
has.
Potential
it has a recipe for, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, we'll know in a couple of hours, of course. You'll hear and see from us again at half-time, and then again at full-time, where hopefully we're speaking about another 3 points for Enzo Maresca and his Foxes side. Coming up next, we've got the full game and commentary for you available. Here's a little explainer of what is available for you this afternoon.
If you are watching on lcfc.com, just sit back and relax. If you are watching on social media, the live stream will finish shortly. If you want to continue enjoying our coverage, you'll need to head over to lcfc.com/Foxes Hub and purchase one of our game passes. If you are watching in a territory where the game isn't live on TV, you'll be able to watch a live video stream on Foxes Hub. Please visit lcfc.com/territories to check. If you can't find your location, live audio commentary is still available. You'll need to have an lcfc.com account before you purchase your Game Pass. If you already have one, please sign in and select your product at lcfc.com/Foxes Hub. Select the Buy button and you'll be taken to the payment page. Once you've followed the simple payment steps, press Continue at the bottom of the screen and you'll be taken to the Foxes Hub homepage. If you purchased a video pass, please select Watch Live from the Foxes Hub drop-down menu. If you purchased a Listen Live pass, please select Listen Live. If you purchased a seasonal or monthly video pass and the game is not being shown in your territory, please select Listen Live. If you are having a payment or technical issue, please email Leicester TV Support at streamamg.com. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy the match.